everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm John.
I'm Jackie. Dun, dun, dun.
And together we're John and Jackie. Eagle and Echo are both in here too, my guide dogs. They're both doing the exact same thing, snoozing. Probably not a bad thing. Well, it's Dad's Day week. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jackie said that she has prepared some dad jokes for us.
Oh, yes. Yes, I have.
It's funny. I guess being a dad for 12 years now, I'm starting to come into my own with the dad jokes. It's something that you can't plan for. It just starts to happen. And you realize that the jokes that you tell are just a tad bit lame. But that's okay.
Maybe it has to do with you're telling them to a kid who, you gotta make it kind of simple at first,
That's true.
They're not exactly watching the 1 hour Seinfeld special,
That's true. Something about being a parent, too, that I think kills some brain cells in you after a while.
That's for sure.
You do the best you can.
That whole period of lack of sleep, that killed them all.
Oh, my word. There you go. That's true. But not only do we have terrible jokes as we hang out tonight,
yes,
but we also have a game. So that's going to be some fun. And the game is called, it's a new game that we haven't played yet. It's called Thingamajigs, Doohickeys, and whatchamacallits.
Well, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Was this game inspired by the fact that we went to an antique store?
Yes, it kind of was.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, we went to an antique store yesterday with family, and it was a lot of fun. But at first they were like, oh, let's go antiquing, and my response was like,
yeah.
It's like I just imagine a store full of old furniture, just one old bed after another, slightly different. Oh, this bed has feet. This bed doesn't have feet. Things like that.
That and I think it's funny because we didn't take Eagle, so you were just going sighted guide with me, and the whole place, if it's not old furniture, it's usually old, glassware and stuff. So I imagine it's dubious when you try to go along and feel things, and you got to be careful not to. Bull in a china shop. Yeah, and it's always strange not going with a guide dog. It was great going with you aside a guide because we're talking, but I didn't take Eagle because we were going over to our family's house, and they have a new puppy, and we just thought and they all get along and all that. We just thought I don't know, instead of having to corral the dogs the entire time, because they're all wanting to play and just go crazy, that for this once I would leave Eagle at home and we would just be able to chillax outside, barbecue, all that kind of fun stuff. Oh yeah, speaking of, because it's Dad's Day, and John got an early Dad's Day gift.
That was so sweet.
Do you want to tell the crowd about your new love affair?
Yeah, I will. So okay, I absolutely will. I've got a huge man crush on my grill outside, which is really cool. It's one of those wood pellet fired grill things. But it's so cool. It'll smoke, it'll grill. No one's going to be as interested in it as I am. But unless other people who are into that kind of thing, and
well, I didn't know this is a thing. Apparently, I'm not the chef in the family, so it magically appears in front of me, kind of like when I drive you places and you magically appear at that place. But so. I didn't know that this was a whole thing. People accessorize their grills.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
There's Facebook groups for the specific grill.
Oh, yeah.
It's a thing. I did not realize. And not just you buy a special thermometer. It's skins you can wrap your grill in, special handles.
Yeah, and that's something. You almost expect spinners and stuff, but yeah, you can get all kinds of
LED lights.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Put a subwoofer in it, so you really get some more bang.
There you go.
It's smoking with the subwoofer. But it really is really cool, and it's but you can also smoke veggies, it's a wood fired grill, so you can make pizzas on it. You can do all kinds of stuff. It works like an oven. So you got a wood fired oven for a pizza. Oh my goodness! But my old grill, which I got maybe about 8 years ago, we figured out roughly.
A long time ago.
8 to 10 years ago. Finally kind of rusted apart, and it was his old charcoal grill and gas and all that. But this is so cool. But it's I don't know, I can't wait. But it was so sweet of you to do that, darling.
Hey man, you're
although
the chef.
it was kind of genius though, because it's like here's an oven. Cook me something tasty. So you're giving me the gift of giving you dinners.
That's the secret. Yep, it works.
But I love to cook though. For our family, I'm generally the cook. You're so great when you cook, but you don't really enjoy it, and I don't know. I enjoy it most of the time. Yeah. So it's good, and I don't hate it. So even nights when I'm like,
Yeah, I'm excited about this smoked pizza concept.
I am too. I was kind of hoping you were going to go to the store today so you could get some, but soon enough. But I didn't want you to go to the store just for that,
Yeah, well,
But
it is my home away from home. It's a little ridiculous.
I mean, because if I had my way, we'd be smoking everything all the time, and also the veggies and stuff. Like Andy was saying that like you can smoke like your onions and peppers and all kinds of stuff, and just cheeses if you wanted.
Jesus.
Dennis smoked cheese, and Andy told me the way he did it, and it sounded brilliant.
That's yum.
But
well, I want to say quite a few people have joined us.
Nice.
Aaron Schock says hello, John and Jackie. Hello back, and Nancy said I'm shocked, referring to probably you grilling or me buying you a grill so you'll cook for me probably.
Oh man. Well, there's going to be we finally got yeast. We were looking for yeast forever, goodness. And to make bread, I have a bread machine that I got like at a flea market or somewhere, and then and hardly have ever used the thing because like we went on a low carb diet right after I got it. We got a super great deal a long time ago. Almost forgot we had it. All this stuff's going on. We thought, hey, let's make fresh bread.
Which is evil.
Yeah, but we couldn't get flour for the longest because the whole pandemic. It was just, and then finally we got the flour. Still couldn't find yeast. My mom came through. She found like a pound of yeast somewhere. So now fresh bread. So this weekend for my dad, I'm gonna try to smoke him a brisket, and make like fresh bread and try to make a really nice dinner.
So we should start our diets like next week.
I honestly,
is that what you're trying to say?
I think exactly. Hey, I'm not the one buying pies.
Hey, I bought a cherry pie this last weekend to take to my brother's and I totally forgot. So
yeah,
I guess
that's happening.
The diet's put off until after that thing is eaten.
To be honest, so like when it comes to diet, I think it's more about just portion control. Because if you take out all the things you love to eat, then you just you're doomed to fail.
Again, though, it's willpower, and I have no.
That's true. Well, you have willpower. You run and stuff.
Well, so tell us about what you are painting on, because this is actually a painting that's been done. It's shown in a gallery, and now you've got it back on the easel because you can't not touch a painting that sits around the house.
Show it. Let me get my head out of the way. It's kind of a long painting, so in here, let me move it forward too because it also has some glossiness to it. So the true colors are probably going to be hard to see, but I'll move it around because I don't have a lot of glare. But I had this painting, and the way it was, I started working on it on Instagram Live this afternoon, and the foliage from the trees went all behind this umbrella, which I really liked. It's a music painting, so I really liked the idea that it that it had that because the different colors in the tree are notes from the song. So the 2D idea of it was on purpose, but it was been hanging in our bar room, and I been thinking because there's this perspective with the pathway and all, and that I just felt like the 2D perspective on the tree just didn't match that part of the painting, and it was just eating at me a little bit, and I thought, I know, but that's the way I did it, and that's the way I wanted. Should I really change it? And but I will tell you a little story about Claude Monet.
Jeez.
And I'm sure I've told the story on here before, so if you've heard it, I apologize. But when his vision started going when he got older, and finally he was losing his eyesight, but he started thinking about colors in different ways, and he would go into museums that were already collecting his artwork with a little pot of paints and start to correct the paintings. He would start to change the colors into the way that he thought about it, after all this had happened. And the curators at the museum weren't very excited for that to happen. They were always glad for Claude to drop by, but then he started changing the paintings, and they were like, "No, Claude, don't do that." So he became barred from the museums. And
that's so funny, like the museum that has your own art and you're barred from it. I wonder, like nowadays, if an artist tried to sneak in, those security guards wouldn't even know it was the artist. They'd probably tackle him.
Yeah, well, you
like what is going on?
That's true. Like at the Dallas Museum of Art, the security guards knew Echo, and it's way more than they knew me. But you know.
Well, Barbara Branson's joined us and says, "Now we're cooking." Referring to your grill.
Hey.
And Linda Everton joins us and says, agree. And she, I believe, was agreeing with the lack of being able to handle the portion controls. Kylie Sykes says hello. And Kim Tyler joined us and says hello.
Well, hey, guys. Thank y'all so much for joining us today. And it's going to be a fun show. And last Thursday, we wanted to be able to tell you guys, but I was going to be on an episode of
To Tell the Truth.
To Tell the Truth. Thank you. Which is it's a game show on ABC, and it was going to air that night. And you know, and our knee-jerk reaction is always to share that sort of stuff, and it's just because
we weren't allowed.
Yeah, we weren't allowed. Like they were like you shouldn't share it until after because it's a game show. You should wait till after it airs and all that. So.
Yeah, they're big on people, even the audience, being able to guess who's telling the truth. So
yeah, and but it was like the reaction from that has just been overwhelming, and so thank you to everyone that watched it. And then
it was awesome. Like right when it aired, the emails and social media was kind of blowing up a little bit, and so that was exciting. And Yeah, the whole experience was fun when we went out to LA. I think they shot it in like October, and then of course they don't know when they're going to air it. They just say it's going to be during the season sometime. And but when we went out there, we actually, for anybody that watched the show, we actually spent the most time probably with the detective, the psychic detective.
Oh yeah,
and she was a trip. That was kind of interesting. She knew about your like back surgery before. Like it was weird. I don't know. It was fun.
And the sword swallower that was on the show is actually from our area too, which is just a weird coincidence. But it was a lot of fun. But I also wanted to apologize to people because we got hundreds of emails and messages and things, and we're getting back to them. And it's been a little nutty. It's just but. You know, so I always feel bad about that but it was fun. It was great.
Yeah. So when we did it, I sat in the audience while John was on it, and it was funny because I was sitting next to a couple that apparently it's a thing out in LA to like go to these be in the audience. Like you go get in line and I don't know if it's like a punch card or what, but the more you do it, the more you go up the ranks into the like bigger shows. So the people I sat next to in the audience said, you know, they were like, oh yeah, we, you know, it's a good show, but we just try to build up our audience cred or whatever, and so that we can get in the finale of the Masked Singer or something.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, this is a whole thing. It's weird.
Yeah, like their favorite show is the Masked Singer, but so that's it's funny about that. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun. We tried to go to the Whiskey A Go-Go when we were up there.
Oh yeah.
Because that's where the Doors played and all this. But we got there and they just happened to be closed that night. They were doing something, so we just took a selfie in front of it and and then explored some more. But it's funny, little things like that, because like we're not like we've done some TV things and whatnots, but it's not. But we always feel more like a fly on the wall, you know. I mean, we're just like we do art. Art's what we do. That's our passion. So when something like this comes up, it's super fun, but we don't really take it that seriously because it's not what we do. It's not our. It takes the pressure off, because when you're there, you can just have fun and enjoy it, and you're like, well,
they're like side adventures.
Yeah, it's just
adventures. Well, Nancy said, "What? I've been waiting." I guess I forgot to tell you.
Almost forgot to tell my mom, and that and that's not something you want to do. Because so about 3 or 4 hours before the show, I called her real quick and said, "Oh, by the way,
by the way,
he's like, oh, John.
turn on your TV. I know. I texted my mom and she got it late and she was not happy that I just texted her and didn't call. But
I know. I don't know. But like we said, we don't really think about it. That's not like our. It was just sort of fun. But one nice thing about that though, and we do those whenever we can, because if something like that comes up, because a lot of the work we do with nonprofits and charities and stuff, I've noticed like that sort of stuff tends to raise awareness a little bit more. So I don't know it. I used to kind of shy away from that, but now it's it's like, yes, do that, because anything you can do.
Oh yeah. I mean that's like a big life lesson, is just to say yes all the time. Say yes. So Barbara Brand says her son is a grill master and he makes bacon a lot.
What? Oh, bacon! Bake bacon on it. You just changed my life for the better, Barbara. Thank you so much. Okay.
Bacon by itself, bacon on everything wrapped in bacon.
That's such a great, because you can because it works like an oven or whatever, and you can make bacon in the oven. You can grill. It's a grill. You can grill bacon. But wood-fired bacon? Holy moly!
Maybe I have to go to the store today. I don't know.
Telling you what.
Well, and she said, what's the other contestant was the other contestant visually impaired? His answers were a lot like your true answers. So yes.
Oh yeah.
His name is Jeremy
Poinsino.
Poinsino. Okay, and he is in fact the world golf champion in the blind circuit.
Super nice, super funny guy.
Really cool guy.
Really tall.
Yeah, really tall.
really nice, really funny.
But yeah, and what's funny about that with like the true answers is they do a ton of prep work for all the contestants. Like you have to know, like when we first got there, John and Jeremy had to do a ton of just research, but like memorizing what Sarah the swimmer did and all the details about the swim and everything, so that if any of the celebrities asked a question to them too, they could answer it like Sarah, and and it wouldn't be ridiculous. So
yeah,
that was kind of fun to watch. And then Jeremy had the tough job of memorizing both you and Sarah's situation.
Yeah, he was Jeremy's vision, I think, like he could. I think what his vision was is he didn't have peripheral, or it was one or the other. I can't remember.
He only has peripheral.
Oh yeah, he only has peripheral, so he can't really see in front of him. But he can see on the sides, and but it was interesting though, because Sarah, who was an incredibly individual, she actually swam the English Channel 4 times, like in her backward and forward.
Yeah, holds the record.
Yeah, she holds the record, and she had breast cancer. She was able to fight that. Went from there, started swimming like the English Channel. She did it before, and then she did this and broke the record. But one of the most, and she is super nice, super sweet, and one of the things I thought was interesting, just chatting with her, was that she actually swam through a school of jellyfish while she was doing it. So she's just stinging all over, for like, oh gosh, I can't remember if she said it was like 12 hours or 24 hours or something of the swim, and it's just.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy. Just incredible. And we were able to meet like the astronaut that spent the most time in space. And
it was cool. It was cool to meet all that. And she was a brick.
Yeah.
She
like
was so fit.
You can't tell. Like you can't tell. I don't think like just by looking. But like I gave her a hug. And this lady, this astronaut, she wasn't like that tall or anything. But oh my goodness, it was like hugging a brick wall.
Yeah.
Like she was just so muscled. And it's awesome.
Well, Lisa Bledsoe Weber says hello, has joined us, is waving.
What?
Barbara Brands said smoke the bacon.
Ooh boy.
Yes. Sheila McComas has joined us and says, I didn't know there was a blind circuit for golfers. Awesome.
Isn't that something?
There is. Yeah, and in fact, that's not the first blind golfer we've met.
No. Yeah, I met a champion, but it was over in Holland.
Yeah. And
we were doing a TV thing for in Holland, and he was super nice.
Yeah, and he was.
Golfers are nice, apparently.
Yeah, and it's amazing to it's just crazy. I can't even hit the ball, let alone get it close to a hole. Let's be honest.
I know. I felt so out of my element, or not out of my element, but I was like, wow, you guys are awesome, because. Yeah, golf. I I could hit the ball, but then I would never find it, I think. But then
searching for days.
And when it comes to swimming, I could do maybe 2 laps in a kiddie pool, and I would just be out.
Swimming is hard.
It is. Swimming is work. Hard work. Oh my goodness.
Well, Linda Emberton said you had a couple voting for you as the swimmer.
Oh yeah. It's funny too, because on the taping, they tape for so much longer, and there were so many jokes that like the people were saying, and they were so funny, but almost all of that was cut. And then, but my favorite part of actually being on the show was getting to meet Patti LaBelle, and at the end of it, she was apparently wearing like these big stiletto kind of shoes. They were just killing her, so I was helping her with her shoes, but it was just, I don't know. It's like she was super nice. Everybody was really nice, and it was
it was cool. I rode in the elevator with Kevin Nealon. That was a trip.
Yeah, I love Kevin Nealon.
It's crazy.
And it's so weird though that because I don't know, I've loved Kevin Nealon for years, ever since he was on SNL, and it was kind of cool to just be sitting there and just hear him in real life. And the other guy, I swear, my goodness, my brain's going.
Mark Duplass?
Yeah, Mark. We're big fans of The League, and he was on The League. So
yes.
For me personally, I thought that was kind of neat, because it was just like I love The League. It's so funny.
Well, Nancy said bacon on a donut with maple frosting. I don't know anything about smoking a donut, like get the donut already done and smoke it. She's making a reference because every time I visit her, we go get donuts. And she always gets a coconut shaving covered chocolate donut, which I find...
Oh, you don't like coconut, the texture, huh?
And I always get the bacon maple donut, and so she makes fun of me because she doesn't like that one. And...
Well, if you get the maple donut and you just smoke the bacon... And you get that sweet maple. Oh boy, that's definitely not on the diet.
This is gonna get dangerous.
I know. That's great.
Oh, Kim Tyler says, "Oh yes, you bring a lot of encouragement to visually impaired artists. Keep it up, please."
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
And she also says, I bet he had star guards. I'm not sure what that refers to.
Not sure. There's so much I don't know about so many things.
So much I don't know. And Christy Bullock is waving hello.
Oh, hello. Oh, and I wanted to put up the names too of our Patreon supporters and just say
yes.
Thank you again so much, guys, for doing that. That's you guys are awesome. And
yeah.
And to everyone. I mean, and when I was just talking about the emails and the messages, and I hope it didn't sound like I was complaining, because I'm really not. I just feel bad when we can't get back as quickly as we like. But it's super awesome. It's, especially during the time like the pandemic like this, it's so easy to feel isolated and alone. And we're not feeling any of that. Thanks to you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you.
Well, and I should say, Ron is specifically to blame for the dad jokes I did today.
Did he? Is he really?
Yes, because he sent me a link of a Facebook group that's called Premium Dad Jokes, and
oh my goodness,
he is to blame.
That's cool.
So,
well, let me ask you this: do you want to get into some dad jokes right now, or do you want to play the game?
Let's play the game.
Okay. Well, this game is inspired by antiquing.
Cool.
So,
all right. I don't know about. This is going to be questionable.
So guys, you're going to put your thinking caps on. This game I've entitled "Thingamajigs, Doohickeys, and Whatchamacallits." And I've had my Bluetooth in my ear over here, and I've got a list of these things. So as I go through, I think I've got all my notes in order. I've been doing pretty good with that. So here's the idea for the game, guys. I'm going to put up an image of an old invention, and your job, if you choose to do it, is to figure out what in the heck it does.
Okay. I used to watch a lot of Antiques Roadshows, so I might be okay.
Well, good luck.
But if anybody knows the thing, share, because I need all the help I can get.
Feel free to guess in the chat, guys. That's what makes it fun. So this, it almost seemed like it was something that could have been invented today for the whole pandemic.
So giant see-through cones on your face.
I mean, I wouldn't be completely surprised to go out and there's people walking down the street wearing these things.
Well, Sheila McComas says face mask, which that is accurate. It is a face mask. But why?
Why? Why would somebody do that?
Oh, and Linda Everton says Stargards is what the two blind brothers have. Loss of central vision,
yes.
similar to retinitis pigmentosus.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. That's good to know.
And Rachel has joined us and says hello.
Well, hello.
Okay, so
you know what this reminds me though? If you remember the TV show Get Smart, where they have the cones of silence.
Yes.
This one makes me think of, because I can imagine trying to talk to someone else that's wearing it, and you're like, oh, and then the other person's like, whoa.
See, I imagine that this my first reaction to this was it was to keep men away. But it
might work.
It's probably something to do with their makeup and it not getting messed up in the weather, maybe.
Ah.
I mean,
that's cool. So is that your guess?
Yeah, I don't have any. Nobody's got any specifics yet. But yes, okay. What is this?
Okay, well, yeah, it's a rain and snow sort of mask.
Oh.
To keep the rain and snow off of your face. I bet you're right, though. I bet the reason was to keep it, maybe so it's not touching your face either. But well, yeah. I guess so you can also see why it's a giant cone. Who knows?
Sheila McComas says pandemic 100 years ago.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. That would have been good during the Spanish flu.
Okay. This is, I believe, I would say it's like a curling iron device. Yes. It looks so dangerous. It looks so dangerous. Tiffany Marie has joined us and says, hi guys, finally a glass of wine and relax time. Thanks
awesome.
For joining. Please help me. I don't know what these things are.
That's the way to do it.
I'm gonna guess it's like a hairstyling device and probably like a perming machine.
And some of these are a little easier, so we can go through them if anybody wants to guess too. But yeah, you're right. It's like a perming.
Okay, I want to say I've seen this picture before where they were like, check this out. It was crazy back in the day.
Yeah, there's quite a few of these machines. This one's from 1929, but I can almost think it could have been from something like a GE. Like our scientists are working hard around the clock to unlock the mystery behind dreadlocks. How do they work? Why are they so cool?
Why?
You see all these scientists with all their lights and things just working. Anyway.
Well, Barbara Brand says for a permanent.
Oh, yep.
And Nancy Durr says for a perm. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. For this particular one, it said that the waves would stay for a year.
A year.
That's what it says.
Better than today.
I know.
This is so questionable. Okay. I have an idea.
Oh.
I think this is probably a jaw exercising device.
Oh, cool.
Like if women were worried about their double chin or something, that maybe is that a light bulb?
Is it? I'm doing my ASM, whatever that is, ASMR or whatever. Is it now? Get closer to the microphone.
Oh, Kim says, I think I saw this on the Waltons.
Oh, wow.
It might be the perm thing, but I'm not sure about that. And Nancy said, no, that's just too gross.
Get out, John boy.
I'm gonna, gosh, I don't know, because the tubes make me think that something's being blown or it's a power. The thing on the side looks like a fan, and then it looks like a light bulb. So, I mean, nowadays it'd probably be a teeth whitener, but, I mean, I don't think they had that back then, so maybe it was like a light that they thought would kill germs in your mouth.
That's a good question. I mean, it's a good answer. It's not right, but it was a a mouth X-ray machine.
Well, we got some people that got it right. I didn't see that. I should have waited.
Oh, awesome.
Ron Seffert has joined us. I don't know if I said his last name right, but X-ray for dental. That actually makes complete sense now.
That's awesome.
And Barbara Brand says a dental device to examine the throat or tonsils. That was...
That's cool.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Rachel says, what is that? Felicia's joined us, says something to do with dental, which, yes.
You guys are smart. That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's from 1920. I thought it'd be more funny, though, if it was like an automatic pill inserter. You know, just really crams it down in there. But if you think that that's uncomfortable, you should see their automatic suppository machine.
Oh, yikes. Yikes. Well, and Tiffany says maybe to take a picture, so got it right. And then Nancy said maybe inhaler.
Oh, wow.
That would be an intense inhaler.
The pocket inhaler for 1920s. Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
All right. Oh, my goodness. It's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, this looks like a device that would be...
This will teach you to technique antiquing.
Right. This looks like, well, it looks like some sort of electrical doodad at the top. So, I mean, oh man, I don't know. I would guess, like, I have nothing, man. What is that, like a pipe on the front? I bet the chat can, I bet the chat can help. The chat have been spot on, man. All right, people, come on, help me out here. I don't know what this is. We have some smart friends on there. That's pretty cool. I mean... I didn't think anybody would get the X-ray machine. Is that an electrical thing on top? It is. It does run on some form of electricity. It runs on some form of electricity. I mean, I don't know. An old-timey electric bubble-making hat? Ooh. No. That would... But, you got the hat part right. Oh, Sheila McComas says an exhaust fan for smokers? ? Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting because he's smoking something. That's a good eye. I like that. But you have to remember, back in the day, everybody smoked constantly. So I didn't realize he was smoking anything. Okay. So that's a good thought. It's a good thought. But that's just because people couldn't walk around without inhaling smoke of some sort. Back in the day. Barbara Brand says that's your thinking cap. Clearly. I like it. Felicia Flynn says measuring brain waves. Yeah, that's good. So what are you gonna guess? I think Felicia might be right. I think it's probably measuring brain waves, but it probably was silly, but maybe. Man. I'm gonna go with that. Yes. Well, this is probably the earliest version of an iPod type device. It's a radio hat. Man, that makes more sense now because it's got that weird pipe thing that probably. Yeah, it looks like it's what puts out the sound. Oh. And then the dial. See, now it makes sense. That's ridiculous. It makes me think it makes me think of Willy Wonka because they have all those crazy machines, but it seems like the kind of thing that Slugworth would call back to Willy. Willy, the snozzberries really taste like snozzberries. I don't know. Willy, get him on the phone. Just crazy contraptions. Ken joined us and he says a timed reading device with a light. Oh. Okay. That's cool. Well, man, I would not have guessed an early timey radio. That's brilliant. I mean, this looks like an early timey TV. Like that would be my initial guess. Obviously, he's using his eyes. It's got some antennas. I mean, I'm gonna go with an early timey VR set one. Gosh, that was probably really terrible for your eyes back then. Oh, the CRT tubes, just shooting the radiation right into your brain. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna guess an some sort of portable TV for your eyeballs. Do you want the answer right now? Tiffany says, "LOL, my daughter is watching that right now." So I assume playing VR. Sheila McComas says a Viewmaster. Ooh. Okay. I love the Viewmasters when I was a kid. All right, what is it? I had the Love Bug and all kinds of cool stuff. I loved that thing. Man. Okay, what is it?
You're right. It's TV glasses.
Okay.
Which is kind of surprising because I mean, like the VR sets. I mean, like that's pretty advanced for.
Yeah.
Although I was thinking though at this time, imagine how big the batteries would have had to be. Like you would have had to plug it in. I mean, you would have had to strap like 4 car batteries on a backpack to make it mobile.
Yeah.
Man, batteries.
Well, Barbara Brand says an electronic daguerreotype similar to a Viewmaster.
Daguerreotype.
Daguerreotype.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Brilliant.
That's a good guess.
And Ken said a hands-free kaleidoscope.
Nice.
Okay, this looks like a torture device. That's ridiculous.
Man.
I mean, the way it looks, I would say it's like a backswasher, but there's no water around. Maybe it's to help a woman put a corset on.
Interesting. Wow. Curious what the chat's gonna say about this, because I wasn't sure. Because on this stuff, like I picked things that had pretty good descriptions, or they talked about it, or had something to go with it. And so I was kind of curious what people were going to come up with this thing.
Okay, Rachel says a massager. That actually makes sense.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, probably a massager more than a. I mean, but it's pulling her hair up. That's all weird. I mean, I don't know. That this is weird. I wouldn't want, even if it, I wouldn't want. I definitely wouldn't get in it, even if they sold it as a massager. That's crazy. Tiffany says
it makes you tense just looking at the thing, let alone trying to use it.
Tiffany says something to do with posture. That makes.
That's a good. That's.
You know what? Maybe it's something to correct scoliosis.
Bing ding ding! You got it, man.
All right, wow. Tiffany, good job. All right.
That's
Gosh.
Smart.
So, did it say anything like how long they had to stay in it?
No. I thought it looked more like or sounded more like somebody trying to invent the perfect plunger and everything going completely awry.
Yeah, really.
But no, good job, guys. Okay, you ready for this? This one's not so much. It's just kind of. I just thought it was strange.
Okay. Well, I should say really fast. Barbara Brand says chiropractor.
Ooh. Yeah, it's
very good.
Yeah, that's a type of person who would have used it.
And Ken said spinal alignment, and Rachel said helping her get dressed, ? But no, apparently it was to straighten posture. Okay.
That's right, guys. Man, that's good guesses.
Yeah. Okay, this, I mean, I think this is probably like some sort of camera, even though it's on a gun. I think maybe it's supposed to record like what you're pointing it at. Like, I don't know. Ron says it's a gun. Clearly, it's a gun. Come on, people. It's a gun. Yeah. I mean, I would, because it looks like the front, like it almost looks like a peephole thing.
Yeah. Well.
That you would look through, but then it would make more sense to take a picture. And the film looking thing next to the picture, it looks. So Barbara Brand said a camera gun, and
that's exactly what it's called, camera gun. And it takes instant, like it takes like single frames, but it never really caught on. But I thought it'd be interesting, like for the police, because instead of saying freeze, they would say cheese, or something.
Cheese.
But I think the photos would be so crazy of just people just a microsecond before they got shot. I don't know.
Did it say why this existed? Like, was it to record?
I think it was just an idea, like for that way, it'd be for like police and different things.
Like
that
the
way.
early version of a cop cam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So. Well, Ken said laser and nightlight or cop cam. So there you go. Kylie said camcorder. Felicia said vision tester, and there we go. All right, that's interesting. Okay. This looks like a device to like help your kid learn to walk. I mean, I would assume it probably was for, you know what? This is probably for polio. This is probably like a polio device, because I remember my mom had polio, and the therapy for it was horrendous.
Oh, yeah. My dad had it too, and I remember stories that, and It's so great though. I mean, it's just it's incredible though. Like your mom and my dad both were able to walk, and but the treatment sounded horrific.
Yeah. I would guess that this is probably like some sort of device to help the kid learn to walk, or probably to do therapy for polio.
It's got pain.
That would be my guess. Felicia agrees. All right.
You guys are right. It's a walking teacher. You know, it's nice. To help learn how to walk.
Okay.
I thought maybe it was like a home ventriloquist kit, but you know,
it comes with your own kit.
yeah. You supply the child. And illegal everywhere.
Illegal everywhere.
Oh, and this next one I just threw in, so that's really it. It's exactly what it looks like. It's a treadmill, but it's an old treadmill.
Got treadmills on the brain.
Jackie's thing is thinking about getting a treadmill, you know, and we were so we've been looking at them, we've been asking people about them, and that have them, you know, like because they have them now where it's like you can go anywhere in the world and you can walk that area, you know, and that sort of thing. So I thought, wow, that's really cool that they have that's out there, that's a thing that's there where like you could walk down the street to Paris or something. You know, it just sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, I want we were at my brother's this last weekend, and they have one which accompanies the iFit, and so you could, like, my sister-in-law pulled it up and, you know, showed us you could like walk the different parks of Paris and all this, and I was like, I might actually run then, because right now in Texas it is too hot even at like 8 in the morning. It's ridiculous.
I was thinking, though, these early treadmills, I mean, they look more like something that a medical supply company would come up with. Like, we've got to sell more wheelchairs. How in the world are we going to get more people in wheelchairs? One guy's, Tom, I've got to brainstorm.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's this contraption that you can break any leg on. That's it.
So, cool. Well, on the teaching to walk thing, Ken said his mom had one, or had polio and had one, and then Felicia also said her mom had one, and Rachel said they make new ones like this now, the bottom part, which I believe referring to the tread, I believe. And then Ken said, I didn't realize our family had so much polio in it. I believe it's probably everywhere.
Yeah, that's
every family. It's crazy.
That is. It was such a big thing, wasn't it? It's just crazy. It is crazy. Well,
okay. So, dad jokes. Again, we can thank Ron for this.
Blame. One of these.
Blame. He shared a silly website or Facebook group for anybody that doesn't have enough dad jokes in their repertoire. It's Premium Dad Jokes on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, I want to say a big thank you. We have another Patreon that we haven't put on that list yet because it's new. So Richard Szeliski, I don't know if I'm saying that last name right, but I want to say big thanks.
Well, thank you so much. That's awesome.
So, okay. Here we go. Are you ready for a dad joke? Or two?
I'm as prepared as I'm ever going to be, I think. Let's dive in.
All right. Why did the chicken go to the gym?
Give me think. Dad jokes are almost like a riddle. Let me see. Why?
To work on his pecs.
Oh, man.
That's silly.
That's awesome.
So I used to be a wrestler. I would get a guy in a headlock and write my name on their forehead. It was my signature move. That's it. You're like, this reminds me of that Facebook video where Ryan Reynolds and I forget who else he was with. I think it was somebody he starred in one of the Marvel movies with or something, and they were telling dad jokes to each other, trying not to laugh. It was funny.
It's my signature move.
So my dog used to chase people on a bike around a lot. It got so bad I had to take his bike away.
Ba-dum-bum.
Went to the beekeepers to buy some bees. All the bees had price tags on them except one. It was a freebie.
A freebie.
See, my favorite one, it's not on this list. My favorite one is I went to a zoo and all they had was one dog.
Oh, it was yeah, go ahead.
It was a Shih Tzu.
That's a good one.
I tried donating blood today. Never again. Too many stupid questions. Whose blood is it? Where did you get it from? Why is it in a bucket?
Such a hassle.
Josie Mendez Rojas has joined us. Says hello, and I'm new.
Well, hello. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. We're going to torture you with dad jokes.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
We apologize in advance.
How did the trees feel when winter was finally over? This is stupid.
Spring. Twig. Green. Oh, what?
You're not gonna get it.
What is how did they feel?
Relieved.
Relief. Some of these hurt just a little bit.
I know, right?
It's Dad's Day almost. Celebrating with.
Let's see. Let me see if I can find another one.
That's pretty cool. It's funny. It's almost like watching a B movie where it's bad, but it's so bad that you enjoy it because it's just so bad and you can make fun of it and all that. Dad jokes are kind of that way. They're so bad they're kind of funny because it's just like they're. It's the B jokes. It's the B movie of jokes, I guess.
Yeah. They're always fun. They're always silly and fun. Well, Josie said, I'm visually impaired. I use a magnifier to read and stuff, but I'm still impressed with the paintings.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so here's my last dad joke.
Uh-oh.
And this is for all you visually impaired.
Oh.
I'm reading a horror book in Braille. Something bad is going to happen. I can feel it.
I have to remember that. Yeah, I remember. I read a joke, and there's a blind guy with this guide dog, and there's a guy spinning a blind guy with a guide dog in a store, and he was just spinning the dog around. And then the guy says, "Is everything okay? What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, everything's fine. I'm just having a look around."
Just having a look around.
I can't even say it. It was so bad. It's Anyway, yeah, so if you have not gotten enough of your awesome dad jokes, it's a Facebook group called Premium Dad Jokes. You can thank Ron Captain. Premium dad jokes. I wonder how they're measuring those.
a lot of them are some silly memes too, so that's fun. Cool. And just in time for Dad's Day, so you can share them with your kids if you're a dad, and just mortify them all weekend. It'll be great. And I think Thursday I was going to try to do some dad craft ideas for kids, kids and parents or moms to give to the dad. So
that's cool.
We'll see how that ends up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That sounds like fun.
Well, Tiffany says, why did the Scarecrow win an award?
Okay, so there's Scarecrow. Do you know the answer?
No, she hasn't given it to us yet.
Man, what do you think?
I don't know. I want to say I don't know.
Did I say they're stuffed? They're full of straw. Scare off the crowd. He was alarming. Gosh, I don't know. I give up. These are hard.
Are you ready? That's pretty good one.
Oh yeah. You got it.
She sent it over. He was outstanding in his field. That's a pretty good one. I like that. That's
good. You're killing me just a little bit.
That's good.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Well, Josie says LOL to the last one, and I was introduced to this page by my friend Paula. Thanks, Paula. I wonder if it was roller derby Paula.
Oh. That's awesome.
Barbara Brands guessed it. He was out. She apparently knew it. He was outstanding in his field. And then Ron Sifrit said, "Not this Ron, LOL." Meaning he wasn't the one that gave the idea. And then Barbara Brands wrote, "Can you stop and get a hot dog and a beer in Germany?" ? I don't know. Can you?
Tweeter. Can you stop and get a... I don't know. I give up. All
right, Barbara, share. I have no idea.
Gosh. It's going to be... Oh, these things are as bad as riddles. Oh, my goodness. That's... Well, while we're waiting for the answer...
Yes.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah. Tell us the latest and greatest with the painting.
So this is this is what it looks like now. Before I started earlier, all of this was all the same color going down, and it went behind the painting like right here. It was solid. All this was solid leaves, all the way down to here. So, and I want to have it like I want to actually have the leaves come out and go behind the umbrella a little bit, but I wanted to push them back a little bit. I want to trim the hedges a little bit, and then have some of the leaves come out. So I've done that. I've got that at the sky blue sort of painting or the color back there, and then and I've been adding some tints on here just to darken this area down here. But then now I'm going back and I'm adding some highlights. Then I'll darken some more, and then I'll add some more highlights and stuff into the trees. But that's kind of where I'm heading to right now. I'm gonna go right now, and I'm gonna add some colors so that it's just sort of peeking behind the umbrella.
Well, I was gonna say my only thing with this painting so far is that the leaves are perfectly away from the umbrella, so it seems like it needs some overlapping or under it so that it's not so perfect next to the umbrella.
Oh, you just wait.
That's Barbara wrote, that was a long time. That comment was a long time ago when we were referring to the treadmill. Can you get a beer and a...
Oh, that's so funny. We would have...
Gosh, what is that? That's so funny.
I'm so glad you told us. I would have been wondering all night.
I know.
Can you get it? Like, what is the funny version?
It'd be nice if you could, although I think a hot dog and a beer would counteract the run that you're on. It would be nice, though.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
You were going to have it anyway, so...
Kim Tyler said, "Why did the star go behind the moon?"
Why did the star go behind the moon?
This is pretty cute. This is a good one.
Twinkly something, twinkles.
You're on the right track.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, with twinkle?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's far.
Because it had to twinkle.
Because it had to twinkle.
That's a pretty cute one.
Right back. I got the twinkle.
To twinkle. Well, Tiffany says y'all are too fun. Thank you. Thanks for joining us and helping with all this quiz stuff.
Yeah.
And then Josie asked, "Does the painting have some texture to it?"
It does. It does. And in fact, here, let me put this brushstroke on right now. I don't know where I think I'm from. I guess we're...
And Ron said the painting is amazing.
Oh, thank you, Ron. Yeah, here, let me put a little more paint. Okay. So I'm going to hold this up. Where did I put that? Let's see. Okay, I'm going to put my hand up, guys. Sorry, I'm just going to find the camera. Okay, cool. Boop, boop, boop. So, you'll tell me, sweetheart, if you can see the texture or not?
A little bit. Yeah, you can see the texture.
So... For this painting, there's texture up on the leaves, and it was done with a palette knife. So, but it isn't like super thick. It's probably half to a quarter inch thick, and most of it there. But and then the actual branches have texture as well. For the rest of the painting, it's smoother. So let me put it up there. So it's smoother because it's really hard to get fine deep detail whenever you have a lot of texture. At least it is for me. So in this, I'm using the paint knife to make the leaves, and then I go back over with brushes for fine details of color. And then for like the lady here and all, it's a lot of brushwork. It's lots and lots of brushwork. The colors like the black here is a special paint that I use that's sticky. It's not sticky anymore because I varnished over this to get the stickiness away. But yeah, so there's texture and then there's smooth area. A little bit of both. I do that with quite a few of my paintings.
Yeah, your leaves tend to have texture on them typically.
Yeah, I really like for a painting to have like thick texture. It's just that if you want to have that some detailed areas, it's I can work it in a lot better if it isn't quite so thick.
Well, Kim Tyler says, love this painting.
Oh, thank you.
Felicia said, how do you know what color you're reaching for?
Oh, well, I set them up beforehand for this but I have all my paints and they're always in the same order. But I set these up right before the show because I knew what colors I was going to be using. So I cheated a little bit before this. Most of the time I don't think enough in advance to do that, but I was sitting here with about 30 seconds, and I thought, oh, you know what, I'll just go ahead and pull out my colors. But I'm going to put my hand out here. So I braille my paint so that I know what colors are in there, and then I have different mediums that I'll mix into it. So like, let me see, this should be the yellow. It is. All right, so this is the cadmium yellow, but the paint that's in this bottle, it isn't the paint that it's a different paint than what came in this bottle. Like I remixed it. So what's in here is actually, it's an acrylic paint mixed in. Sorry. It's an acrylic paint that's mixed in with its flow release. And it gives it a completely different feel from the blue that's in this bottle. I know I keep holding the paint up to the microphone because I expect everybody to look through the microphone and see it. I forget it's this. You see through cameras, you hear through microphones. I'm going to learn that one day. So the paint that's in the yellow one, even though like they're the same kind of bottle, it actually feels completely different than the paint in the blue. So
nice. Yeah.
So before I started, I put out the yellow, the blue, the pink. I mean not the pink, the yellow, the blue, the red, and the green. Just so it'd be easier to do that. But
well, Josie says impressive when referring to the painting, and Felicia says brilliant.
Oh well, thank you. When I first started painting, I only worked with a few colors, three colors, black, white, and red. And then when I started mixing other colors, I would actually get giant palettes, and I would have or I would have smaller palettes, but each palette would just be a certain color. I'd have like a red palette, a blue palette. But it's like anything, the more you do it, the more you get used to it, and so then I can start using the same palette with different colors, and I learned how not to have them flow into each other, because in the early days I had some paintings that would have blue and red, and I thought I was using blue or red, but they had flown together, so I was using blue, red, and purple. So some of it will, the first time that happens, you learn to not let that happen again.
Nice. Well, Tiffany asked, what beautiful painting is behind you, Jackie? It is,
here,
it's Ride in the Rain. It's pretty big. You can't tell from camera perspective, but it's a pretty big painting.
Yeah.
And John did this for the Immersion series that was at the Frisco Gallery when the pandemic hit. So
yeah, with this painting. That's right.
That
I'm working on tonight. These are both done within like a month or two of each other.
Yeah, they were all like inspired umbrella, super colorful paintings.
And if you can see how big, because the other painting is it's behind Jackie quite a few feet.
Yeah.
So if you can see the size of this one, the other one is over twice as big as this one. So it's kind of a big painting, but it's really hard to tell probably on a webcam because webcams are set for wide angle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably my second favorite of the series that you did. It's a good one.
Well, thank you.
And Kim says, can you please talk a little bit about shellacking paintings? Or resining them, I assume.
Oh, yeah. So
Tiffany says that's gorgeous, referring to that.
Oh, well, thank you. When you say shellac, do you mean like putting a varnish on the painting?
Yeah.
Or a resin? I wonder.
Probably resin, because shellac is like a thick, like coating.
Sorry,
you can just talk about both.
I just bragged about getting my paints out and all set up. But pardon me just for 1 second. I'm looking for a color. I can't.
Well, and Barbara says, John, is your watch a Braille watch? I saw one on the Mower You Know Saturday that is called a Dot, and it operates through an app with your smartphone.
What? Oh, no, I don't have one of those. I used to have a Braille watch, and now I just use my cell phone, because I used to have my cell phone talks to me, and it'll tell me all kinds of things. Like it'll read stuff for me, so it'll you can put it up on a sign, it'll tell you what the sign says or all that.
You're really waiting for a watch that like hooks into Alexa, so
yeah,
you
I'm
can
waiting
have
for
that
the Alexa
full-blown
watch,
relationship with her.
Like, hello Alexa, how have you been? It's been a while. We haven't chatted.
Something sweet about myself today.
Yeah,
because it's like that.
Tell me a joke.
Well, Tiffany says that is gorgeous, referring to that painting behind me. And then Josie asked, do you sell these? Yes, they're, if we have it here, it's up for sale.
Ooh, gosh.
Did you?
It's a particular paint tube, but I have like two others, and the others are empty, so I kept finding, this tube's different than the other tubes. Anyway, found the one that has paint in it. Yay. Cool.
So...
Oh, sorry, shellac.
Shellacking.
Sorry. I got totally, varnish. I can't. So, like, if you're going to varnish, like if it's a heavy varnish, like a shellac, where it's a brush-on sort of varnish, the first thing that you want to do is to make sure that your painting is completely to If it's a heavy, like if you're using a shellac, like a heavy brush-on varnish or a resin, it can cause the varnish to fog up or to not adhere in the right sort of way. And that's not good. You want to get a good quality varnish too. You want to make sure it's an art quality varnish. If you get a clear protectant from a hardware store, and we've learned this the hard way, that they will yellow. Even when they say they won't, sometimes they will. Like, it's not art quality. And it sucks to have to spend more money on something, where you think, well, varnish is just clear. No one's going to see it anyway. You don't want to spend, but you want to make sure that the painting is protected. If you're going to use a brush-on heavy varnish or a resin, if you're using some sort of pigment that, or like if you use graphite pencil or some sort of watercolor or some acrylics and some artist inks, if you put the resin on it or the varnish, either of those, it can melt the paint and it'll start to run. And as you brush it on, it'll melt it, and then you'll start brushing your painting away. So you want to make sure to spray it with a fixative, or something. And the fixative can actually be a clear varnish that's a good high quality varnish, but you just spray it over it. It's really a light sort of coating, just to fix everything, and then you can go over it with your brush varnish and really make it thick. But if you're using oil paints and if you're using acrylics, you don't usually have to worry about it melting them, unless I get into some weird acrylics where they're high flow, and I use lots of different mediums. So just as a standard rule, I usually spray a fixative on it before I do it, if I'm going to brush on it.
Yeah.
And also, I started using a lot of varnishes that just come from a can, but I use a really high quality one, so that I can put it on, and it's gonna protect the. I don't have to worry about it making brush strokes in the painting. I don't have to worry about it messing the painting up. And it's going to protect the paints from UV, so they'll stay better even longer. The paints that I use are usually kind of UV protected too. The acrylic paints are good. But with that though, the colors in one of my paintings should be the same 100 years from now. Like, there shouldn't be any difference. Of course, if you put it outside in the sun, it's, if you have it like in a normal environment where there's some sunlight coming in, and it's, but you couldn't tile a roof with it and expect it not to fade eventually, I suppose, but under normal conditions.
Well, Tiffany says, I have an artist that does encaustic using resin that hangs in my shop. That sounds really cool. I've always wanted to learn encaustic, and then to combine resin with it would be so cool.
That is so cool. That's brilliant.
And then Josie said, beautiful job. I saw the painting with the mask. That was really nice. So.
Oh, thank you.
And then Carol Miners joined us and says, we love all our prints, but my faves are the ones you have done that you can see other colors with a black light. Just awesome. Roller derby fans as well, too.
Oh, well, thank you. That's
a
so
little
cool.
rabbit. I like that.
Yeah, I wish I did. I don't have a black light right here. I would shine it on this one, because the tree It has black light colors in there. Some of them you would imagine are there because the bright colors, but there's also some that are kind of clear and hidden. You don't even realize it until the light hits it. But
crazy.
So if anybody, so whoever buys this painting, if they end up having like a 70s black light party, they're in for a surprise.
It's a whole other painting.
Disco. Like,
there you go.
Good times.
Cool. Well, so Thursday we'll talk about maybe doing some wacky crafts, and you can try to, quiz me some more. That
sounds brilliant, and hopefully by then I'll have really fired up the grill smoker thing, and maybe I can give you. And it's funny because like I mentioned the grill and all that, and you're talking about how people, there's like web forums and all this sort of stuff where they talk in. One of the things like we wanted to talk about on the stream was other types of art, just like living artistically, in your life, like finding things that are.
Are you gonna try to sneak the art of grilling into this situation?
I'm trying to develop a stream where I can eat ribs while I paint.
Yeah, there are those weird videos where you can just watch people eat, and that.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
But yeah.
Not even if you just eat ribs. Just film yourself eating ribs?
I'll probably never listen to the stream, like if I did that, so,
That's so weird. Disturbing.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Man, I blame Brian for making us aware of that.
Yes, well, so Cassie has joined us and says, I love your tips. Do you go live at a certain time daily?
Not daily, but we do go live twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central time, and we have really since the pandemic hit. Like we would do it every once in a while, but since all this happened, we do it twice a week, and we haven't missed one time.
You'll do live.
The quality may come up and go.
Right.
We make no promises.
You'll do live Instagram, so if you don't follow John on Instagram yet, you should, because periodically you'll do weird lives in the morning and. With coffee and just chat about nothing. Yeah, it's a little more willy-nilly on the Instagram. Like it's more, and I'll do it using the setup we use for this, but sometimes I'll just use my phone too. So it's a very different kind of thing. Like I can't switch a camera to look at the painting or anything like that, but they're more kind of raw. Yeah, those are. And some other people will jump in randomly periodically. That's fun. And
that's kind of what we do on the Patreon too. I usually put a couple of videos at least on the Patreon, and those like are really behind the scenes because like there's some things that we're working on for projects that I can't talk about. Not like super secret. It's so important, but it's just that on the contract, like it says, like you can't talk about it until like there's gonna be an unveiling and all that kind of fun stuff. But on the Patreon, you can. It's just so that's fun. Like it's nice to have some place so you can actually say whatever you want on and you're not breaking a contract.
There you go. Well, Ron says, how long does it take to do one painting?
It depends. It really does. There's some paintings I can do in a day or two, and then there's some that will take a week. But on when I first started painting, it would take a month to do a painting. Like a small painting would take a month, and that was painting 12 or 14 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week. But I've sped up a lot. The techniques that I've developed for the paints that I use, where I can touch and feel them, has really progressed, and I sped things up. The acrylic paint has sped things up.
Portraits take you a bit longer.
Yeah, portraits take quite a bit longer. But the thing with the painting too, like I do a lot of commissions, and I don't really care how long it takes. Like I don't. It's one reason it's so hard for me to know how long a painting takes because I usually work on a few at a time, and I figure once a painting is done, it's done forever. So, if a painting takes like 1 day for one painting to make it, but it's right where I want it, that's great. If it takes a week for the exact same size painting for another, that's great too. You just never know. There's some paintings you think are going to be easy. You think like, oh yeah, I got it all figured out. I think I know what, and then you get into it and you're like, holy moly.
Yeah.
Then other ones you think are going to be a huge challenge, and you get into it for some reason, everything's clicking or flowing, or everything just happens to come together. And it just sort of falls together, and you're like, "Oh my goodness, what happened there?"
Well, Josie says, "Do you take any requests for certain paintings?"
I do. The bulk of what I do is actually commission work. Like I do a ton of commissions, and that's so much fun. And I mean, my shows and things like that I do that I paint for, it's all just ideas I come up with, and that's really great and that's fun. But it's also really cool to be able to get into somebody's head. And then the way that I do commissions is completely different than any other artist I've met. But a part of that is because I want a lot of freedom in it, and I want the person who's buying the art to not feel stressed. So I never take it down on the art. We just chat. We figure out what would be a good painting to do, what would be a fun one to do, what would be interesting. Maybe it's the first time like a wife met her husband or something. It's something, and then I'll do the painting, and then if the person likes it, then they have first refusal. But at least one of us likes it. I've done it the way that I like it, and I need it. But it gives me more freedom, and I don't want anybody to ever feel pressured either.
Yeah. You don't want stress in art. That's
yeah. I mean, a person paints because they love painting, and a person buys art because they love painting. They love art. So
yeah.
Why should there be any stress? I don't know. But we buy art too. Like we love. I've never had you've had a piece commissioned.
Yeah, I've had art commissioned.
Yeah, that's which is neat. 'Cause you have that extra connection sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you find an artist that you get a little obsessed with their work. It's easy.
Yeah, but it's been nice. Like my commissions were about a year out. It's like in a little bit more than that, and then but thanks to like the pandemic and everything, and actually making things a little bit more efficient, I think in the studio that. The turnaround time is way quicker now, which is awesome. Because I always felt really bad when somebody would order, like, it'd be June or May, and they wanted painting for Christmas. And I'm going to say, well, maybe the Christmas a year after this one. Because it was just too many, and then, orders. And then, but now it's not that way.
Yeah.
I can get them out so much quicker.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, Josie says awesome.
Sorry, guys. I go off on a tangent. But,
all right, so...
We should probably end this and let our boy know we're still around and
let him have the Wi-Fi back so he doesn't start to get the shakes.
I have a feeling he's sneaking some Wi-Fi.
Yeah, pretty sure.
But
so
but guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, share us with your friends, all that fun stuff, and
thanks for hanging out, guys. I mean, this is pretty laid back, low key.
Yeah, thanks for the help with the quiz. That was tricky. That one was a bit tricky. But you're welcome for the dad jokes.
Well, thanks, guys, and hopefully we'll see you on Thursday. I'd love to hang out again.
Thanks.
Bye.